Good morning. Let's just look here at this article. Let's have a look here at this article from yesterday's Telegraph in Sydney. It's about FGM, female genital mutilation. Peddling pages of barbaric savagery. Islamic shops still selling female mutilation books. So they're still selling female mutilation books. I thought it was illegal to promote female genital mutilation. It can't be illegal to sell a book, or the bookshop would have been raided, wouldn't it? By Janet Fife Yeomans and Matthew Benz, an exclusive, it says, from the Daily Telegraph, November the 17th, 2014. And let's just have a look. It's about the Islamic Bookshop Australia in Lakemba. An Australian Muslim convert who edited a book advocating female genital mutilation, FGM, has disowned the term and urged people not to buy it. Prohibitions That Are Taken Too Lightly, that's the name of the book. Prohibitions That Are Taken Too Lightly was one of several books bought from Sydney bookshops by the Daily Telegraph that advocate FGM, sometimes known as female circumcision. It was edited in 2001 by Islamic convert Shifa Lynette Vivienne Mustafa, who lives in Queensland and who now says she would not give it to anyone. She wouldn't give it to anyone now. She's changed her mind, apparently. The book was written by Saudi scholar Muhammad Salih Al-Munajjid, 54, who believes Mickey Mouse should be killed as one of Satan's soldiers. It provides edicts on many behaviors it says are forbidden in Islam. If anyone asked if they should read it, I would say don't bother, said Ms. Mustafa, who added that she took on editing the book through naivety or ignorance, and that the section on FGM was added after she finished working on it. I've done years of study since then and no longer have anything to do with the book, she said. Ms. Mustafa has also spoken out strongly against FGM and has received threats as a result. Another book bought by the Daily Telegraph is called Important Lessons for Muslim Women, which says FGM is obligatory if an unmarried woman's desire is so great. So, it's known that female genital mutilation can deaden and dull the sexual response, just as male genital mutilation can dull the sexual response in a male. But to read on, New South Wales Minister for Women, Pru Goward, has condemned the promotion of the abhorrent practice. New South Wales Minister for Women, well, she was previously the Minister for Family and Community Services, and before that she was Sex Discrimination Commissioner, wasn't she? So she's calling female genital mutilation an abhorrent practice, and she's condemning the book, isn't she, the promotion? Yes, Pru Goward, who didn't ever, as Sex Discrimination Commissioner, utter one word in defence of male genital integrity. And yes, women are so nurturing, aren't they? They're so nurturing, they'd leave a baby to be cut. They are. They're so nurturing. And yes, as Family and Community Services Minister, she didn't utter one word that I know of that defended male genital integrity. And remember, female genital mutilation is already against the law, and indeed you get 21 years in jail if you so much as put a pinprick in a girl's clitoral hood. In May, the New South Wales government tripled the sentence for performing FGM to 21 years jail and introduced a new offence of removing a woman or girl from New South Wales to have it performed. So female circumcision is completely illegal in New South Wales. But books on the barbaric practice remain on sale, apparently. Here's Goward again. And this is Goward who said, there's only one law for all Australians. Pru Goward famously said, there's only one law for all Australians. I know that I've got extra holes in my penis. I asked my mother when I was about 9 years old, I said, what are these extra holes for? And she said she didn't know. So it was my mother's idea to have myself and my two brothers genitally mutilated, but my mother couldn't tell me what the extra holes in my penis were for. Here's Pru Goward. I'm a supporter of freedom of speech, but whether it is from behind a lectern or on a page, The promotion of this inhumane, illegal practice is unacceptable, Ms. Goward said. I would be calling on booksellers themselves to pull any book encouraging female genital mutilation off the shelf. Pull any book encouraging female genital mutilation off the shelf. Well, what are you doing, Goward, to save a boy's genital integrity? Just Google male circumcision, and there are clinics all over Sydney that allow it. There are websites that encourage male genital mutilation. I've been genitally mutilated, and boys in New South Wales are still being genitally mutilated. So what the fuck are you doing about it? Nothing, I suppose. You didn't do anything when you were Sex Discrimination Commissioner. You didn't do anything when you were Minister for Family and Community Services. Boys, male children are members of the community, you know. They are. But you're so nurturing, aren't you? You're a woman, you're a feminist. You look out for the interests of little boys, don't you? You let them be cut, don't you? You let them be cut, you let them bleed, you let them scream, don't you? You do. Iman Sharabeem, head of the Immigrant Women's Health Service, said, to hear that there are books promoting female circumcision is shocking. So, female circumcision is against the law in Australia. It's against federal law, it's against state law. But it's shocking about this book. I'm shocked that little boys are still being genitally mutilated, and I know that Pru Goward basically didn't give a fuck about male genital mutilation. She didn't. She didn't. But she's so nurturing. She's so nurturing, isn't she? She's so nurturing. Women are so nurturing, yes. This is all about females as victims, isn't it? It suits feminism. Girls are protected, women are protected, girls are protected in Australia. It's not a cultural practice in Australia. It's against the law in Australia. No one has ever been successfully prosecuted in Australia for female genital mutilation, but it's okay to do it to boys. There are paragraphs there, but I wanted particularly to look at the section on Pru Goward and her, and the sort of person she is that would leave a boy to be cut and keep mum about male genital integrity. FGM involves the removal of parts or all of the external female genitalia. This article was originally published as Storr's Female Genital Mutilation Shame. I call male genital mutilation shame. We hear about the shame of being genitally mutilated. If you're a woman, it's, you know, it can be considered a shame that you were genitally mutilated. You're allowed to feel shame if you're a woman for being genitally mutilated. You're allowed to feel shame if you're a woman just for having a pinch on the tit or something. Elizabeth Broderick said she felt shame because this is the last Sex Discrimination Commissioner, Elizabeth Broderick. She said she felt shame because she went out on a date with, when she was a young lawyer at a legal company, she went out on a date that she didn't want to go out on, but she agreed to it, but she felt shame afterwards, and that was sexual harassment, apparently. So she felt shame for that. But, yes, boys aren't allowed to feel shame for anything. I'm not allowed to feel shame for having extra holes in my penis, am I? I'm not allowed to be ashamed of that, am I? No. Boys are allowed to be cut. That's about it anyway. As I said, Pru Goward has done fuck all for little boys. And, yes, she's so nurturing, isn't she? She's so nurturing. She's a feminist. And she's a nurturer. She's a woman. Women are more nurturing. They are, aren't they? Bye for now. How do I turn this thing off? Let's see. There.